What's going on, boys? It's day number 39 of reading through the book of Isaiah. As you might tell by my baggy eyes and the light, it is currently really early in the morning right now. It is currently 6:30. I am recording this early just because I have a long day. I'm going down to the beach, so the next week we will have a different background, so it will be no more of me being in my room. So just wanted to give a heads up on that. So I wanted to go and get on here early in the morning before we get started to go ahead and share God's goodness with you. So today we're going to be looking at a pretty short passage about envoys from Babylon. So it's going to be these letters from Babylon and what will happen to the possessions of Hezekiah, as we know that while life was added to his by God, we also know that at the end of his life, his possessions will have to be divided not only amongst his kingdom and maybe his family, but Babylon will come in and take them. So the first thing I want to read is verse 2, where it says, Hezekiah received the envoys gladly and showed them what was his in storehouses: the silver, the gold, the spices, the fine olive oil, his entire armory, and everything found among his treasures. There was nothing in his palace or in all his kingdom that Hezekiah did not show them. And I apologize for my nose. I woke up this morning with a really stuffy nose. So Hezekiah is cherishing all of the letters given to him. He was kind enough to reveal everything. And I think what this says to us is that, when we really are, trusting of others and we want to grow our community and grow in people around us, we really have to understand that we have to open ourselves up to them. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, you give away your house to them or give away your car. But this can mean, providing them with simple things, extra that you have. A lot of people have extra money sitting around somewhere, or extra food that never gets used or just stacks up. I mean, there's always someone in need. And in Hezekiah's case, he is very wealthy and faithfully loves God. And he also understands that, what is going to happen to his possessions is maybe not what most of us would want to hear. It is very well the best, because Hezekiah knows that God delivers on all parts, and it's by God's grace that these things have to happen. And Isaiah, the prophet, is going to deliver these messages to him and say that he says some of your descendants, your own blood, will be born and they'll be taken away. And they're going to face challenges, and they're going to be left with confusion, and they're not going to know what to do. But Hezekiah finishes off the chapter with an amazing response. He says in verse 8, he says, "The word of the Lord you have spoken is good," Hezekiah replied, for he thought, "There will be peace and security in my lifetime." So Hezekiah trusts that God's word is good. Peace and security will come when we stop worrying. So when we worry about something, I do believe that at certain times it's okay to worry about things. Worry about other family members, worry about what's next, worry about your job maybe. But when you have that as your main lifestyle, you start to see how things are going to really fall apart, and they're not really going to go the way you want them to. So you have to understand that worrying should be a temporary phase we go through. Worrying either leads to depression, or it leads to questioning, or it could lead to progression. And we have to make a choice. And life is all full of choices. We're always having to choose whether or not what we want to eat that day, who we want to talk to, what we want to do at work. If you want to get up in the morning. I know myself, I fall in that category. I am not a morning person by any means. But I know that this is something that I need to do, not because I want to, compare myself to others, but because I want to see this growth in myself and share the word with many other people. So that is today's word. I hope that you guys have a great Saturday, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Peace out, boys.